wine when we arrived to our wine estate, remember? The small glass, the port glass, it was a white dry port. It's this one here. And mainly we produce 3 types of port in Douro Valley. Only 3. Whites, Townies, and Rubies. Today, since 2009, they produce a different one, we call the 4th one, but it's a taboo for us, we don't talk too much about that. It's we call the pink port, or rosé port. This is why, it's an insult to all the history of ports. The oldest document proving the existence of the port, it's more or less the 17th century. The last port produced, the pink port, only 2009. This is why it's an insult to almost the people here. The people don't like rosés, it's an insult, this is why I don't talk too much about that. Only goes focus on these 3. Cool? Cool! But tell me about the wines on the table. Did you enjoy it?
Yes.
Good? We tried it 2 different wines. 2 table wines, a white and a red. And on the table wines, we divide for 3 different categories. We divided per colheitas, is the first level. We divided per reserva, when the wine goes to the oak, and we divided per grand reserva. This is the mainly 3 categories of the best or the qualities, the 3 mainly characteristics of the qualities we find in a wine. On the table wines, colheitas, only stainless steel. We harvest the grapes, we produce the wine, and we send after the fermentation to the stainless steel to keep the minerality and the fruitiness of the wine. Okay? Cool? After, we can find a Grand Reserva, and we can produce a Grand Reserva. What is the difference between the Grand Reserva and the colheitas? Oak. The winemaker will send the wine to the oak, and will staging on oak a few times. On the whites, to be a Reserva, they need to stage between 3 months until 6 months. And will be a reserve. But to be a Grand Reserva, they need to stage more time, between 6 months until 12 months, to achieve the intensity of the oak, because the oak will change totally the wine. Instead of just the fruity aromas, the primary aromas, just the fruitiness of the fruits, they will change the wine, will add more intensity of some inks, and will create a Grand Reserva or a Reserva. Okay, this is the mainly difference in terms of the Reserva and the colheitas. After the reds, it's different than the whites. The whites will be until 6 months to be a Reserva, and until 12 months to be a Grand Reserva. The reds will be different. The reds will be a colheita. When you produce the wine, we send to the stainless steel vats, and we leave the wines there, and after we bottle. The Reservas needs to be staging until 12 months. To be a Grand Reserva needs to be until 24 months. Okay? This is the main difference about the wines in terms of the whites and in terms of the reds. First, the white we drank inside is a colheita. First level, only stainless steel. Cool? 3 mainly varieties, and mostly the wines we do is blends. Okay? Almost the Portuguese wines are blends. 3 varieties inside, all Portugueses. Vinhozinho, Gouveio, and the last one probably already listened is named by Muscatel. You know Muscatel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Personally, yeah.
Really?
Family friends.
Muscatel
family
was
friends.
with you?
Long time family
She gets around.
Muscatel, probably the Italians know by Muscato, okay? Or the California Muscato. Okay, like this. In this
In
case,
Brazil, Moscatel.
Muscatel?
Moscatel.
Very well.
Yeah,
Muscatel.
Moscatel.
And the US grows there?
Right there. Yes,
That's right, we got
exactly.
here.
All of these we call table grapes, and these ones are Muscatel.
Yeah.
But this one we don't produce wine. From these ones, no.
To eat.
Yeah, these ones we used to eat. In this case, Muscatel will add to this wine some tropical weather, some fruitness, will be much more intensity of pineapple or some passion fruit. This is why you feel a sweet aftertaste in the end, but you feel a citric and acidity on the wine as well, because the Vinhozinho and the Gouveio will give to you these sensations on the wine. One thing, be careful with the wines mostly in Douro Valley, because the alcohol content is so high. 13.5% of alcohol. Okay? It's a headbanger, you don't feel it. Okay? Be careful. Cool? In this case, now talking about the reds. Did you enjoy the red as well? Do you feel any oak? Do you know how can I understand the oakiness on the wine? You don't?
Yes.
Tell me. How can I understand the oak on the wine?
Not to understand, but you can taste it.
Yeah, but you don't taste the hood. You taste the
Well,
hood?
usually you do.
To understand if the wine goes to the oak, mainly, for example, French grapes will give to the wine smoky aromas. Smoke, okay? And for example, some leather. We'll feel some leather as well. The American oak will give to the wine sweetness, some vanilla, some coconut. That's the way you understand the wine goes to the barrel or no, because the first aromas, the primary aromas, will not give to the wine these sensations. Can give a little bit of chocolate and can give a little bit of species, but not the sweetness like the coconut or the vanillas, or for example the smoky aromas. This is the secondary aromas. When you put the wines on the oak, will change the profile of the wine and transform this one. In this case, 3 varieties, and this one we call the 3T. All the varieties started with the letter T. Touriga Nacional, Touriga Franca, Tinta Roriz. Cool? All Portuguese names. But the last one, Tinta Roriz, you can know by other name. Very well. What do you listen about? Tempranillo. Do you know the Spanish variety?
Yes.
Tempranillo? Yeah. The Spanish stole us and got famous. Yeah.
They have better marketing.
I know. We suck. Our marketing sucks so far. But one thing is for sure, we do better wines than the Spanish. Yeah. I'm joking, okay? They're good wines. In this case, Tempranillo or Tinta Roriz are exactly the same one. These 3 will give to the wine the little bit of the fruitness. You will feel a lot of red fruits there, a lot of cherries, a lot of strawberries, some plum, and the alcohol content is not so high comparing the wines you can find here in Douro Valley, 14%. You can find easily reds with 16% in Douro Valley. Cool? Yeah? Now focus on the port ones. Remember the one we tried it with your desserts? It was a townie. Cool? The differences between the townies and the whites will be the varieties we use, because mainly the way to produce are similar. We send to the oak barrel 7 years minimum, and maximum we don't have. And when I'm meaning oak, I'm talking small size barrels. 500, 600, 1000, 2000 liters. Small size barrels. What's happened? Inside of that oak, the concentration of oxygen will touch much more on the wine, and this wine will pass much more time touching on the oak. We'll take the color of the wine in terms of the townies, but it will give a little bit more color to the whites. This is why if I put the one side by side, will be very, very similar in terms of the color, because the way they age will provoke this. Whites will keep more color, the reds will take, or the townies will take the color of the whites. And in this case, what is a townie and what is the white? Mostly the whites, like my cousin already explained, you will find in 3 different levels: sweet, dry, or extra dry. Cool? The townies you will find per years. You can find townie 10, townie 20, townie 30, townie 40, townie 50, and today you can find 80, townie 80. Wow. But what is a townie 80 or a townie 10 or a townie 20? Remember, minimum age 7 years, right? Maximum we don't have. I can keep the wine inside of the oak. Every time they will improve and increase their qualities and stays in great characteristics. And if I keep it longer times, I will be older. But a townie 10 is a different, like a cocktail of different wines. Barrels with 7, with 8, with 9, with 10, with 11, with 12. We're gonna mix that wines and we bottle as a townie 10. Townie 20 is the same story. 30 the same story. 40 the same story. We pick different years, we calculate the average of that wines, and after we blend. After we'll bottle as a townie 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, or 80. Cool? This is on. Just checking.
Are they actually 80 years in the oak?
Cask?
We have on the casks in Douro Valley wines with 200 years inside.
Oh.
Don't ask me the price. Don't ask me because I don't know, but it will be so
That makes
expensive.
understanding the average.
Yeah.
Not getting the average.
Yeah, very expensive. And now, let's focus on the rubies. You already tried the whites when you arrived. You already tried the townies when we eat the desserts. Now, you're gonna drink the townie, the reds, or the rubies. In this case, rubies will have different levels as well. You find, for example, colheitas, you find reservas, you can find these on the markets. LBV, and you can find this after. Vintage. Some of you knows what is a vintage? No?
No.
None of you?
24 months.
Model.
Vintage, he's vintage. Oh, burn.
Can I drink it?
Wow.
I'm better than him, I'm a legend.
Okay, guys. To explain what is a vintage, I will be simple. Best year. Okay? Imagine this wine is from 2019. It was a great and exceptional year. The winemaker prevents will be an exceptional year because the climate, and will harvest the best grapes and will produce the wine. To produce the ports, we smash the grapes on the lagars, all granite lagars, and with our feet, we don't use machines to stamp the wine. We just use our feet. We smash the grapes, and after they will ferment. After 3 days, we'll control the measure, and we'll kill the fermentation. What are we gonna do? We're gonna add to the wine spirits, grappa, aguardiente with 77%. Not that one I served to you because that one is only 30, 35. But the one we're gonna add to the wine will be 77% with alcohol. After, we're gonna send to the oak barrel, and not the small one, big size. 10, 15, 20,000 liters barrels, okay? Big size barrels. That will give not too much intensity of the oak, and the wine will not oxidizing so much. This is why the rubies have a very deep color, not like the townies or the whites. Very, very deep. You're gonna see when I'm gonna open the bottle. After, minimum age will be 1 year, and on the vintage maximum is 3 years. And after, we're gonna send samples to the Institute of the Port, IVDP, to try and judge this wine. They're gonna look 3 important characteristics. They will look the intensity of the tannins, intensity of the fruity aromas, and the levels of acidity. Why? Asking to you. Why these 3 characteristics instead of other ones? Do you understand why?
No.
Okay, I will give to you the answer. Because remember what I said, the port's age? Oak. The vintage, no. The vintage after 3 years maximum, we bottle this wine, and all the aging process will be inside of the bottle. Cool? All the other ports, after removing from the oak, will stop aging. This one, no. Because the perfect wine, because the 3 characteristics I mentioned to you, this wine will improving every single time. Every year, this one will be better. Every year, this one will be expensive. Okay? Increase the price, increase the quality of the wine. And to be a vintage, the 30 persons in IVDP will judge this wine and unanimously will say yes or no to that 3 important characteristics. If one guy says no, totally wrong. All the 29 are wrong. If the 30 say yes, we have a vintage. Cool? Yeah.
Can you repeat, please, the 3 characters?
30 persons will try this one. The 3 characteristics is the intensity of the levels, intensity of the fruity aromas, the levels of acidity, and the tannins. Okay, these 3 characteristics: levels of tannins, acidity, and the fruity aromas. Okay, these 3 characteristics.
And the age gonna be in the bottle, or it's in the bottle? And the bottle, it keeps getting better every.
Exactly. We need to keep this wine horizontal position. The liquid needs to be in contact with the cork to still humid and prevent the oxygen outside. Don't let the oxygen comes inside. Because if the cork one day dry, oxygen can pass and oxidize the wine, and that way we smash and we damage this amazing wine. Cool? To keep this wine, I need to have in my cellar, like I said, horizontal position, and I can keep this wine in my cellar 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 years if I want. Every moment this wine is improving. To open this kind of bottles, imagine a 50 years bottle, to use, for example, a corkscrew, a normal corkscrew. You know what's going on, right? Because the cork, passing time, suffer deterioration, and I will break the cork instead of open the bottle. To open these kind of bottles, very, very old bottles, not this one, because it's from 2019, it's a very, very young wine, okay? We need to open very old bottles with a special way. In France, they use the saber, or the swords. No, I'm joking, they don't. Only sparkling wine. But in this case, to open this kind of bottles, we have this technique here, opening by fire. Or to branding my cousin sometimes. In this case, I have the horn turned on fire a few times, and now I'm passing the temperature to the neck of the bottle. After a few moments, I will apply to the neck of the bottle ice cold water and instead of breaking the glass, I will provoke a clean cut, a thermal shock. By the way, my friends, you never watch this alive?
Don't do this at home.
You never watch this alive? None of you? Really?
Nobody should.
All virgins, I love it. It's the first time.
Yeah. And the cold water.
Come é que ela tá por pouco? Segura o baratão.
Oh, perfect.
Did you hear the click?
Yes.
Now I just need to pray to Cristiano Ronaldo, the God. Come on,